All right, everyone, I am back here, and I ran out of time on that last video. Completely lost track of my time there. But we're just wrapping up here, and I just had one more scripture that I wanted to share. We are looking at scriptures. I've already described in this discussion with dispensational theology and John Nelson Darby why it is completely irrelevant that John Nelson Darby started dispensationalism with his teaching, and that is the fact that it's fairly new, coming out in the 1800s. Just because it came out in the 1800s does not mean it's unbiblical. And the reason why is because of Daniel chapter 12, verse 4, which says, in the latter days, that's when knowledge will increase. Okay, so I've already laid that out there. And so I was in the process of, I've already had this discussion with what dispensationalism is, and we looked at different nuances with definitions, and I was going through specific scriptures that show that God is going to the scriptures prove that God is going to fulfill specific promises that he's made to Abraham's physical seed. Okay, so not to go back all into that again, but let's go ahead and continue from where we left off. I have one more scripture that I wanted to share with you guys, and that is Ezekiel chapter 48. Okay, now this is such a specific prophecy, and I'm just going to go ahead and start reading here. This prophecy deals with division of the land in the millennial kingdom. Okay, from Ezekiel chapter 40 all the way to the end of the chapter 48, what we're seeing here are specific instructions starting with the temple and what that's supposed to look like, the millennial temple that's going to be built. Okay, what that's supposed to look like, what worship is supposed to be like, different instructions for the Levites. And now we're looking at division of the land and specific tribes that the land is supposed to be for. Okay, it doesn't get more specific than that. So verse 1, chapter 48, it says, "Now these are the names of the tribes from the northern border along the road to Hethlon at the entrance of Hamath, to Hazar Enon, the border of Damascus, northernward, in the direction of Hamath. There shall be one section for Dan from its east to its west side. By the border of Dan, from the east side to the west, one section for Asher. By the border of Asher, from the east side to the west, one section for Naphtali, or Naphtali. By the border of Naphtali, from the east side to the west, one section for Manasseh." And it goes on and on and on, describing the divisions and borders for Ephraim, Reuben, and all these other tribes. How is the church in reference here? It's not. That is so clear. That is so clear. So again, are Israel and the church one? Yes. When? Right now. In the church age, we are one. However, the church age dispensation will end, even though the new covenant will continue on for eternity. But this dispensation of the church age will end. Okay? There won't be pastors and preachers, okay, when we have the millennial reign. Okay? So this will end at the tribulation period, what the Bible accurately calls Jacob's trouble. When God comes to restore Israel after Jacob's trouble, that he is going to fulfill these literal specific promises that are written here in the Old Testament. God is going to do exactly what it says they're going to do. That does not negate our oneness with Israel today. And our oneness with Israel today does not negate the physical blessings that he has promised to Abraham's physical seed. Okay? So yes, we are one. However, we are not replacing them. We are not taking their place with the physical promises he has already allotted to Israel. Okay? We are joining Israel in the promise of the new covenant. That's how we are Abraham's spiritual seed. that does not mean he is not going to fulfill the promises that he made to his physical seed. Okay, I feel like I've said this over and over. I'm really just trying to reiterate the point over and over. Okay, so that was the last scripture that I wanted to share with you guys. And so, guys, I know this is gonna, just spark some great debate here. Just remember, when we have these discussions, that's all it is. Biblical discussion, which is very important. Just remember, we are all in the same body. We all love Jesus Christ. And so let's just, be careful of how we talk to one another and how we carry ourselves on the thread. Okay. Let's just, let's be mindful of that, because the number one thing is our love for Christ and our love for one another. Okay. So it's okay to disagree. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing, but just watch yourself in the manner in which you do so. Okay. I try to set the example with that. Obviously I have disagreed with many people, but I always try to carry myself in a godly manner, and prayerfully you will also do the same. Okay. So with that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to sign off here. Guys, stay tuned for my next video. For those of you who are anticipating the Revelation series, I have not forgotten about it. The next video is our Revelation 13, and it is going to be a great one. We are getting into the nitty-gritty of Revelation, and we are going to be talking about the unholy trinity, the beast and the false prophet. And guys, it is an amazing chapter. I cannot wait to study that with you. And also, for those of you guys, I don't know if everyone saw my last video that I just posted out, but I am on Patreon now. I am so excited about my Patreon launch. My Patreon launch is just part of the process and me doing the things that I believe that God has called me to do, which is start my own evangelical outreach ministry here in Dallas. And that's a ministry that's going out to the streets, feeding people and giving them the truth, feeding people physically, and then feeding people spiritually, giving them the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so, guys, I hope that you would support me and that you would subscribe to me on Patreon, as these efforts will allow me to fulfill God's great commission and bringing the gospel to the lost locally here in Dallas, Texas. So I have links on the video so you guys can check out my Patreon page. I have some great rewards that I think you would really enjoy. Just my way of saying thank you so much for those of you who choose to support me, those of you who are joyous about supporting me, those of you who just feel the Lord is calling you to support me in that manner. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so love you guys in the Lord. I cannot wait to get back with Revelation 13. For those of you who are subscribing on Patreon, I will be, of course, I have exclusive videos that are only just for you. Okay, and so guys, I love you guys in the Lord. Take care and you be blessed. Until next time, this is Cornelius Jones signing off.